everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Priscilla and I film about faith, purpose and marriage. I'm sure you will love it here. There are so many lessons to glean from my channel. Once in a while, I share stuff that I've learned on my journey as a young and ambitious lady. I am married and today I want us to talk about knowing God for yourself. And I do know that if you are a Christian or if you're a religious person, you go to church, you probably say, oh well, I know God already. Do you understand? Now one of the things that I have learned is that there's a difference between knowing about God and knowing God for yourself. Many of us grew up knowing about God because maybe you grew up in a Christian home, you grew up being taken to church regularly, reading the Bible regularly with your family or at church or whatever, taking part in church activities and all of that. Those things are really great. A personal relationship with God starts with giving your life to Christ. And so I want to, give a bit of a background by sharing how having a personal relationship with God, knowing God for myself, has helped me as an individual and how much of a difference it makes if you know God for yourself versus just knowing about God through people. So let's get right into it. So one of the things that I would say knowing God for myself has seriously helped me with is, having clarity on who I am. And to be honest, if you grow up in a Christian home, so let me just even start from there. I grew up in a Christian home. That is a pastor, and right from that early stage, I was, taken to church. We read the Bible together as a family, which I love and still cherish till today and all of that. So I was exposed to, being a Christian, to what it means to be a Christian. But of course, that you have to get to that stage where it's a personal decision, where you decide to give your life to Christ. So I got to that stage where I gave my life to Christ. So it wasn't about just going to church. It wasn't just about reading the Bible because we are all reading the Bible, or attending meetings or taking part in church activities just because. It was from a place of, I have a relationship with God. I know the God that I'm serving. I know who He is to me. I have a personal experience with Him and I have a relationship with Him. So it helped me find my identity in Him, and it's huge because one of the things that I realized is that it was very difficult, and it still is very difficult, for you to just make me believe in something else. Like, I know who I am. I know who God made me to be. And when I discovered who I was, I also discovered or got to know what God has called me to do, my purpose, what it is that He wants me to do. So it's been like a very interesting ride. And one of the things that I love about that is, growing up, I was a smart girl, in school and all of that. So when you are that kind of person, you get a lot of people telling you what you should do, like, you shouldn't waste your potential. I think you should follow this route. I think you should do this. I think you should do this. And you can get to a point where you have all of these voices in your head. I actually got to that point where I had all of these voices in my head, people telling me, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, and blah, 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 blah. All these people were saying things and giving me advice that they thought were good for me, okay? But one of the things that I've learned on my journey is that just because an advice is good does not mean that it's good for you. So anyway, apart from knowing my identity and who I am and knowing what it is that I've been called to do at different stages of my life, because the way that God works is, it will not show you everything at a go. It's a step-by-step process, which is why having a personal relationship with Him is super important, because you need to stay connected. You need to be glued to Him for Him to keep leading you. Do you understand? So anyway, it helped me with choices when it comes to my career path, when it comes to what course am I going to study, what am I going to do in the future and all of that. So for those of you who probably may be at a crossroad, or you're probably asking yourself, what should I really do? It's not about going to school. It's not about just picking up things and doing. It's really about being at the center of the will of God for your life and knowing what it is that He wants to do for you. And knowing God for myself helped me with that. So it helped me to silence the other voices and know what path to follow. So it helped me avoid confusion, and it helped me stay focused. It helped me with choosing my friends carefully. It helped me with discerning who should be in my life and who shouldn't be in my life, who should get close and who shouldn't get close, who should have access to what and why. It helped me even when it comes to marriage, which is something that I talk a lot about. It helped me when it comes to marriage, choosing a life partner, because as I shared in one of my videos, when you're ambitious, when you are smart by the grace of God, and you know what you're about, you know where you are going, you are attractive. Men like those kind of ladies. Can you tell ourselves the truth? Yeah. So yes, there were men around, and for me it was really about, I just don't want to get married. I just don't want to say yes to someone because of the person's potential or whatever. I want to say yes to the person because I am convinced that this is the person that the Lord wants me to settle down with. So knowing God for myself also helped me when it comes to that. Another thing that knowing God for myself helped me with is how to navigate the different seasons of my life. I did a teaching on that topic some time ago, understanding seasons, understanding what season of life you are in and how to navigate it. And the reason that I did such a study is because in my own life, one of the things that I realized is that different seasons come with different challenges and require you to be a certain person, and also, would develop you into becoming who you should be in that season. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So when you don't know God for yourself, you can easily get discouraged. You can easily throw in the towel. You can easily give up. And you can also easily be swayed away. Like, people can easily talk you out of what it is that God has called you to do, and even out of purpose. Let's talk about like the situation right now, the economic situation right now, and all that is going on in the world. If you listen to everything that I have said, knowing who you are, knowing whose you are, knowing your purpose, that is what God has called you to do, and having that confidence that does not come from the world or the things around you, but come from the one who is your source, you would react differently. And for me, I think that this is one of the reasons that I'm sharing this, even though there are other lessons as well. Like, knowing God for yourself helps you with your entire life. This is probably one of the reasons that I wrote Understanding God's Will for My Life, because that book is literally me telling you what has helped me. So in this season, I just want to encourage you to know God for yourself. It doesn't matter how long you've been attending church. It doesn't matter. Sometimes when you grow up in a Christian home that is very regulated, where you are being told what to do at every point in time, when you grow, when you become a big girl, it gets to that point where you begin to question things and you're like, why should I do this? Why shouldn't I do this, right? And it can easily lead to frustration. So in order for you to get out of all of that, in order for you to stop feeling lost, especially in these seasons when things are kind of rough, I want to encourage you to know God for yourself. Know God for yourself beyond who your parents have told you God is. Know God for yourself beyond what you've heard in church. Going to church is great. It helps us build our faith, but I feel like it's also just to guide you to deepen your personal relationship with God. So it means that it doesn't take away the work that you have to do when it comes to nurturing your personal relationship with God. Very important. So see, attend church, do all of those stuff, but today my message is simple: know God for yourself. I could just come here to say, don't worry about everything that is going on in the country, don't worry about everything that is going on in the world, just focus on God and everything. But the truth is, it takes you knowing God for yourself and trusting Him to actually take on that word and do it. You can't just do it by your own strength. Like, it takes you, it takes a certain kind of mindset. It takes, yes, I know God, yes, I have a personal relationship with Him, yes, I trust Him, so I'm not really perturbed by all the circumstances and all the things that are happening around me. And for you, it may not be the economy. For you, it may be some personal stuff that you're having to deal with in this season. If you just sit down and get worried and probably consider all the things that people are telling you, it may not help. Like, you may keep going down, you may be sad, you may be frustrated. But if you know God for yourself, and you can go to God and talk to God about whatever situation that you are facing, trust me, your perspective is going to change. And when your perspective changes, it's going to change how you react and respond to whatever circumstance or situation you may be facing right now. Personally, with the economic downturn and all that is happening, I know that my source is God. And I know that He has promised me in His word that He will take care of me. He has promised me in His word that He will, if I pray for my daily bread, He's going to provide. So, like, I don't live in a state of panic. I don't live in a state of, what do I do? I just know that God is going to make a way. Every single day I wake up, I know that He is faithful enough to take care of me. And because I have built a relationship with Him over time, there is this trust that I've built as well, because He has come through for me in the past. And I want you to talk like that. I want you to talk so confidently, because you know who you are talking about. I also want to talk to some of you who may be drifting away from the faith, and that is because you never understood what your parents were talking about. It was really a case of, I'm doing it for them, I'm doing it to please them. I want to encourage you to just forget about whatever has transpired between you and your parents, and bring all your confusion to God. One thing that I love with God is that He wants you to come as you are. You don't have to polish yourself before you come to Him. Come as you are. You have questions, come to God as you are. You feel like you are confused, come to God as you are. You feel frustrated, you feel like there is a better life out there that you want to go and try. You are not sure. Maybe friends have been inviting you to join a gang, to go into prostitution. Like Letitia, things are hard. Sophia, things are hard. So you just keep saying that you're a Christian. Right now you just can give your body just one night, you earn some money, or maybe people are calling you to go into fraud. Listen, I just want you to know God for yourself. God is able to help you out of whatever situation you may find yourself in. What the devil may be inviting you into through your friends or whatever may seem like a good idea, but the end is distraction. The end is not going to be funny. And I just feel like this message is for someone. And for those of you listening as well who feel like, God, I have waited for so long. I have been wanting to get married. 2022 is ending, and there's no way out. Like, what do I do? Do I just say yes to that guy? Some of you have doubts. You're listening to me, you have doubt. You are not sure if that is the person, but there is another voice that tells you, if you say no to him, you probably will not have anybody else in your life. I just want to encourage you to draw close to God in this season. He has the answers that you are looking for. Instead of sitting down, thinking, wondering what to do and all of that, there's a song that says, what a friend we have in Jesus. And then there's a part that says, I forgot exactly how it says it, but I'll probably get the lyrics. It's probably because I'm just trying to say a lot at the same time. But it says that we carry a lot, all because we do not take it to the Lord in prayer. This is what actually knowing God for yourself does. This is the point of my message. Know God for yourself so that you can go to Him and tell Him about whatever it is that you are facing. But also know God for yourself so that He will mold you into becoming who you should be. Like, I feel like there is a certain person that you become that looks at life differently and approaches things and seasons differently, because you know who got you. You know who got you. So that's my message for today, guys. I don't know if you got what I meant, but the summary is, know God for yourself. Beyond church activities, beyond what people tell you to do. And for those of you who are drifting away because things are tough and you are considering other things, sis, don't do it. If you are a guy listening to me, bro, don't do it. Know God for yourself. He will show you the way. There is nothing as sweet as having a personal relationship with Him, because you do know that whatever it is that you go through, He is with you right there, and He will be your light. He will be your guide, and He will definitely bring it out of whatever situation that you find yourselves in. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. If you haven't yet joined the family, please do that by clicking on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell, because that is how you are going to be notified anytime I upload a new vidéo. Merci à tous d'avoir regardé cette vidéo. On se dit à la prochaine. Prenez soin de vous. Au revoir. Bye.